body needs. Okay, so these are the, it's good for digestion, improves the immune function, it can help handle stress and improve your mood, beneficial for weight loss and weight maintenance, provides cancer-fighting antioxidants, and so forth. These are the 7 major benefits of sauerkraut. So now maybe we'll taste a little bit of this sauerkraut. Get an idea.
I can do both.
When you mix sauerkraut with other foods like rice or vegetables, it makes them very tasty. It adds a tanginess to the food that you eat. So next we're going to speak about kombucha. Kombucha is a probiotic drink. In a future seminar, we're going to talk about what's called natto. Natto is a fermented soybean, and it's very effective for cancer. Very, very effective for treating cancer. And we'll talk about that on its own because it's a big subject. Now, while we're going to talk about kombucha, this is my kombucha maker. I make 2.5 gallons at once. And this is a clay ceramic container. And I make it on a continual basis. In other words, I don't make a certain amount of it, and then when it's finished, I have to start all over again. This goes on continually, because every time it goes down to a certain level, like I'll be down at that level soon, I add more of the rooibos tea. Rooibos tea does not have any caffeine in it. So just put this in the freezer. Yeah. So usually people will get a jar like this to make the kombucha. Because I use a lot of it, I have a bigger container. And I'm going to buy a big 5-gallon stainless steel container that they use for making beer, and use that because my demand for it and other people's demand for it is increasing, so then we'll be able to supply it. We're going to have a kombucha garden at Anandamela. In other words, usually they have beer gardens at the festival. We're going to have a kombucha garden. Kombucha in the last 10-15 years has become very popular in the United States, but it's been used for a long time in Russia, Eastern Europe, and Europe. So kombucha, the history behind it is interesting. The Chinese call it the immortal health elixir. Immortal health elixir. It's been around for more than 2,000 years and has a rich anecdotal history of health benefits, like preventing and fighting cancer, arthritis, and other degenerative diseases. And it's made from sweetened tea that has been fermented by a symbiotic colony of bacteria. Symbiotic means you have a synergy, two things working together, or 2 or more things working together. So here you have probiotic bacteria and yeast working together, and they work together in what's called a SCOBY. The SCOBY is the mother, let's say, culture, because of its ability to reproduce or mushroom. So we can take a look at this. You can come up here one at a time and take a look at the SCOBY. SCOBY is a living thing. It becomes a member of your family. It reproduces. So once you get one, as time goes on, you'll get 2, 3, 4, 5, and infinitely. The family grows infinitely, and you can share your SCOBY with other friends. So We can come one at a time and take a look at the Scooby. We should give her a name, like call her maybe Lakshmi Devi or Radharani or something.
So where do you get the Scooby?
You can buy them, or a friend can give you one.
What is a Scooby?
Scooby is this microbial culture of yeast and probiotic bacteria. It's a living thing. And, and it produces babies. It produces babies. You know, like I got a baby from a friend of mine.
It's just the bacteria.
No, you can see it. You can see it. That's you know. Let me wash my hands. I can take it out and show it to you. You know, it's a living thing. You have to be careful. You never put any chlorinated water or anything because it can kill it. Take your time. You know, and one by one you can come and look at it. Yeah.
I just had a few questions regarding this.
Yes.
Do we need to add water also if it
No.
doesn't?
Don't add water.
Okay, just let it release its own juice.
Yes.
And how do you pound it to release it?
Anything like I used the end of
Balin.
Oh, belly rope, okay.
rolling pin.
Okay. And you said we need to, we are supposed to put a weight on it, so what kind of weight?
Get a plastic bag, right? Put water in it, close it, Ziploc, close it, put that on top.
Oh, okay. So then-
And usually it'll cover the whole thing. It's full of water.
Oh, okay.
If you have a small surface, a small opening like this.
Okay, in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah. What? Okay, I'll explain it again. Yes.
You said probiotic, you can make a probiotic drink also out of it by blending it?
Here it is. No, you don't blend it.
Okay, just this one.
It's the juice. But you can make much more of the probiotic drink by blending cabbage
Okay.
and putting it in a closed
The big
container
thing. I don't know which one.
and leaving it for a couple of days, and it's ready.
See there.
And we leave it outside or inside the fridge?
Outside, in a warm place.
Okay, no warm, okay.
Can you taste that? You can feel it. It's teeming with bacteria.
Where is it? Living garden.
Huh?
You can see there.
Yeah, that's a living thing. Like, if we take a picture of your heart, it looks something like that. Or we take a picture of your liver, it looks something like that. This is a living thing. It gives children on a regular basis. You want to taste a little bit of this?
So where can we buy it from? If you want to support.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know. You can go on the internet. There's people selling it.
Oh,
Now today I was also going to discuss kefir. But because I didn't have the kefir bacteria, I'll do it in another time. And that'll be its own class. Kefir is another probiotic substance, but it's much easier to make than yogurt because there's no work involved in it. Again, you get some kind of a bacterial growth called kefir grains. You just put it in cold milk and leave it alone for 2 days, and it becomes yogurt, or kefir, which is a type of yogurt. So you don't have to heat the milk up or anything. And it's highly probiotic, highly probiotic. But we'll do that in another
Jar bhara hai.
session. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our Kambucha. You see, these are all given to us by Krishna. You don't need pharmaceutical companies. You don't need hospitals. You don't need doctors. How did people exist in the past when none of these things were there? How did they exist? They had these God-given gifts. Now, the story of kefir, there's different stories. The story of kombucha, there are different stories. But one story is that it was originally given by Allah to Muhammad. And Muhammad gave it to people of faith, the religion of peace, for their health. Now, Muhammad was actually a health advisor. He revealed to Muslims many secrets of how to maintain good health. He wasn't only talking about, kill the infidels. He spoke actually more about health than killing the infidels. And, like for example, he explained in very great detail the benefit of black cumin seeds for health. Kala jira. It's not the same as regular jira, kala jira. And nowadays, people will get the oil from kala jira and take that on a regular basis. Or they use kala jira, which has a different taste than regular jira. They use it in cooking. And you can make things. You can put the kala jira in here. It's even better. Then he spoke a lot about milk, dates, and of course kombucha, and other things. So as time went on, like in the 19th century, the Tsar of Russia noticed that people in the Caucasian mountains, especially the Abkhazians, which are in the northern Caucasians, they were living to be like, 110, 120, 130 years old. He was like intrigued. Why is this? So he sent a note to the king of Abkhazia and he said, what's your secret? How come so many people are living so long? And he said, because you're an infidel, I'm not going to tell you. We don't share the secret with the infidels. The Tsar said, okay. But the Tsar was not a, let's say, pushover. And he understood the mentality of the Muslim king. So as time went on, he gifted him a beautiful, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Russian girl as a gift. And of course, the Abkhazian king accepted to be part of his harem. After 5 years, she found out the secret and snuck out a Scooby to the Tsar of Russia. Scooby is the mother culture, right? And then the Russians found out, and then they started drinking kombucha also. And then it spread. That's one history. But actually, people knew about it before that. Chinese knew about it, and so forth. So it's made, the way you make kombucha is you make tea. Now, most of the commercial kombucha, they use normal tea. But you can use any tea, herbal tea. I use rooibos. In fact, this mix is made with rooibos, which comes from South Africa. It's a no caffeine tea. It's a no caffeine herb. There's no caffeine in it at all. And I put in hawthorn berries, which are very good for the heart. One day I'm going to do just a seminar on hawthorn berries. I have hawthorn berry trees growing at the farm. Hawthorn berries are one of the best things in the world for your heart. They can, it's a heart preservative, let's put it like that. And it's very good for reducing high blood pressure. Because when you drink the tea on a regular basis, it dilates the arteries and veins and capillaries, meaning it makes them expand, so that the blood flows more easily. And it lowers blood pressure. And it strengthens the heart. It strengthens the collagen matrix of capillaries, veins, and arteries. That means, the walls of the capillaries and veins are made by collagen matrix. So it strengthens that. So, it's a rejuvenative. It makes you younger. It makes you function better. And it improves the heart. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States. #1 killer. In fact, you can talk to so many people and say, "Oh yeah, I have a pacer, or I got 3 stents." Stent means an artery got blocked completely and got damaged, so they cut it and put in this thing called a stent, so that, or they put it inside the artery so that it doesn't get blocked anymore, right? You don't want to go through that. You want to avoid all these things. So we'll have a separate seminar on hawthorn berries and other heart beneficial herbs that are growing wild. You could go to Marymore Park and pick hawthorn berries. Yeah.
How to spell hawthorn?
HAWTHORNE. Right? It's growing wild at Marymore Park. In fact, many things are growing wild in Marymore Park that are good for your health. And they don't mind. I've asked the people there. They don't mind if you pick them because they don't do anything with them. So, in the first half of the 20th century, extensive scientific research was done on kombucha health benefits in Russia and Germany, mostly because of a push to find a cure for rising cancer rates. Russian scientists discovered that entire regions of their vast country were seemingly immune to cancer, and hypothesized that the kombucha, called tea kvass, there was the cause. So they began a series of experiments which not only verified the hypothesis, but began to pinpoint exactly what it is within kombucha which was so beneficial. German scientists picked up on this research and continued it in their own direction. Then, with the onset of the Cold War, research and development started being diverted into other fields. It was only in the 1990s, when kombucha first came to the United States, that the West has done any studies on effects of kombucha, and those are quite few in number. As is typically the case in the US, no major medical studies are being done on kombucha because no one in the drug industry stands to profit from researching a beverage that the average consumer can make for as little as 50 cents a gallon. So, there's no interest by the drug companies, even though it's so beneficial. Right? Even though it's so beneficial. And you're seeing in Russia, vast areas of Russia, the population of Russians in those areas are virtually cancer-free because they drink kombucha every day. Now, if you make kombucha with normal tea, it'll have caffeine in it. But if you make kombucha with herbs, there's no caffeine in it. And so I put hawthorn berries, rose hips, which have a lot of vitamin C, and a lot of rutin, which is another miracle-working natural substance. And I put red clover flowers. Red clover flowers is an anti-cancer natural drug. It grows all over my farm. You can pick it also wild. It's growing wild all over the place. But we walk past it often. You know, there's white clover and red clover. The red clover is especially beneficial for health. But people usually ignore it like they ignore a dandelion as if it's some kind of toxic or some kind of weed, undesirable weed. There was a famous Swiss herbologist. He said, every time I walk past a hawthorn tree, I take my hat off in respect and put it back on, and thank God that he gave us this tree. So you see, just like in India, you have the Arjun tree, which is also very good for the heart. Right? So Krishna has given us all these natural things. They grow wild, and we ignore them and go to the pharmacy and buy all these dangerous drugs. So, a little knowledge is dangerous, but properly learning how to use these natural substances for your health and preservation It's extremely beneficial. It's worth more money than all the money you spend on healthcare, because it can save your life and improve the quality of your life. Thanks to the rising commercial popularity in the last decade in the United States of kombucha, the older Russian and German research has been made available in English to Westerners. And a few widespread anecdotal surveys have been sponsored by kombucha manufacturers. But that's about it. While there are limited amounts of research done on the beverage, there has been lots of research done on many of the nutrients and acids it contains in large quantities, such as B vitamins, antioxidants, and glucaric acids. Regardless of the lack of scientific evidence, the fact remains that this beverage has 2,000 plus years of tradition behind it and an ardent and addicted following. So people who start drinking it, they don't want to stop because they see the benefits it's giving them. Like, for example, let's say someone has breakouts of the skin, different eruptions, or the face or the skin. If you drink kombucha, it'll go away naturally. Let's say you have digestive problems. You drink kombucha, it'll go away naturally. You don't have to take any drugs. Let's say you have so many different conditions. You drink kombucha on a regular basis, which you can make, and you look, he says it hardly costs 50 cents a gallon if you make it yourself. All these problems go away. You have weight management problems, and so forth. So what are the health benefits of kombucha tea? Number one, it's good for detoxification, getting rid of toxic things in the body. Like, for example, if someone is addicted to alcohol or drugs, this is one of the best things you can do. Because once you get addicted, it means your blood system is full of toxins. And because of that, unless you take the drug, you don't feel normal. But by detoxifying, you become normal again and not dependent on the drug anymore for feeling good. Just like I know a person who's addicted to chewing tobacco. I gifted this person a bottle of kombucha. And I said, this will free you from chewing tobacco. He said, well, how's that? I said, because it'll give you a slight high. The same type of high you get from tobacco, but without the risk of getting cancer. Because you chew tobacco, you definitely, at one point, will get either stomach cancer, throat cancer, or cancer in the mouth. No doubt about it. Right? So, after 1 week of drinking it, I gave him a big bottle like this. After 1 week of drinking it, hey, he said, you're right, I get a little bit of a high by drinking it. Well, that's because there is less than 0.05 alcohol in kombucha. That's a natural process from fermentation. It's like very, very little, but it gives you a momentary, let's say, feeling of well-being. Right? But the real well-being comes by drinking on a regular basis, because you become very healthy and detoxifies. Detoxification produces healthy livers. It cleanses the liver and aids cancer prevention, builds up your immunity. One of kombucha's greatest health benefits is its ability to detox the body. It is rich in many of the enzymes and bacterial acids your body produces and or uses to detox your system, thus reducing your pancreatic load and easing the burden on your liver. Now, the liver is something you want to preserve as long as possible, because you can't live without it. Somebody who has liver cancer, they die very quickly. They cannot last very long, maybe 1 month, that's it, and they die. Pancreas, you can take it out and it still exists, but it causes you a lot of headache and problems in the future. Gallbladder also. But the liver, you don't want anything to happen to it because you're dead. Kombucha is very high in glucuric acid, and recent studies have shown that glucuric acid helps prevent cancer. I know 2 people in my immediate circle of friends who have had cancer, pancreatic and breast cancer, and fought it into remission without any chemo or radiation therapy. Instead, they warded it off by detoxing their lives, going 100% organic, removing chemical cleaners and agents in their home, changing their diet to be at least 80% raw or fermented, etc. Well, we've had some examples here. In fact, one of them is sitting right here. Why don't you explain what happened to you?
So, Harivilas Prabhu gave some herbal treatments to me when I had the thyroid cancer. So, at that time we didn't try Kambucha, but we tried Indian herbal. We tried detoxification using applying clay on the body, changing diet to more of spinach diet. So, spinach has high amount of antioxidants compared to even blueberries, for instance. Blueberries are expensive. Spinach is like very, very economical, but it has to be organic. So by changing the diet to raw diet, as well
About
as
wheatgrass.
and wheatgrass juice, yes, wheatgrass juice in large quantities.
I gave you that wheatgrass juice.
Wheatgrass is one.
Carrots?
Indian herbal tea, carrot juices, about 4 glasses a day. It has to be good quality organic carrots, and then only juice, nothing added. You could add ginger if you would like. So everything was raw. And then spinach salad. So when the salad is spinach salad, it has high amount of antioxidants. So that will help in curing a lot of these things. So cancer is caused by putting stress on your body. And today in the world, when you walk out, there is nothing but stress of all kinds. So to cure cancer, of course, you have to go through a natural diet form. So I had it in 2007, 2008, and 2016 I'm still alive. So that shows that this process works. And one of the first things you should all do is give up any kind of canned food, ready-made food, any kind of restaurant food. There's a lot of chemicals in restaurant food, and it is a sure shot way of dying.